On What's Brewing Today, actor and climate advocate Bhumi Pednekar is now turning purpose into enterprise. Teaming up with her sister Samiksha Pednekar, the duo has launched Backbay, a conscious, design-forward beverage brand that claims it's reimagining the way India hydrates. And to tell us more about the brand, the vision forward, joining me now are Bhumi Pednekar and Samiksha Pednekar, the founders themselves. Thank you so much for joining us on CNBC-TV18. Bhumi, let me start with you. You've been an advocate for sustainability for almost a decade now.
Yes.
What led you to take the entrepreneurial leap into this space especially, and the Indian hydration market? What is the gap that you're trying to fill?
To answer the first part of your question, I think I always had an entrepreneurial side to me. You know, This is something that my mom keeps telling Samiksha and I, that even when we were children, we were constantly like, okay, how can we make a scrapbook and sell it to our neighbors and get that 10 rupees, you know? So we always had it in us. We had various discussions growing up that, okay, apart from our personal goals for the first part of our lives, for me, which was acting, for her, it was her law, which she loved.
Yeah.
Starting something together, entering the world of business, something that kind of can outlive us, apart from whatever we do individually as well. In many ways, kind of leaving our legacy behind, was always in our bucket list.
Samiksha, let me come to you. From practicing law to launching a beverage brand, how is it different? Tell us what Backbay offers and how is it different in this crowded space that we have today?
Yeah. There came a point in my life where I was like, okay, now if I continue doing law, I will always do law. So that's how the jump happened, and we wanted to give people a better option, a better choice, so they can consume safer and consume better. We are not a water brand, we are a beverage brand, and that's how I think the germ of Backbay started.
Speaking of making consumers doing something that's safer, let's talk about your facility. I think your water is sourced from the Himalayan springs, bottled at a women-led facility in Himachal Pradesh. Talk to us about the facility. Is it contract-based? Do you own the facility? And what are the capacities that we're talking about?
Well, it is our own facility. We have put up our own plant, and we are very, very proud of it. And as you rightly said, our workforce is led by women, because that's just the kind of value system we wanted to inculcate within our brand. Our capacity is 45,000 boxes a day.
A day?
A day. We have a large capacity, and we primarily decided to put in our own factories because we wanted quality control.
Yes.
We also wanted to scale with the way our consumers are adapting to our brand. We wanted to evolve with them. And thus we wanted complete control, because as Samiksha rightly said, the essence of Backbay, the value system of Backbay is that it's better for you, it's better for the planet. And for us to be able to do that, we wanted complete control, and thus we made the brave choice of putting our
I
own.
know that's a mammoth task that you've taken to
100%, 100%. Like, our journey started 2 years ago, and over the last 2 years, it's been a great learning to us. Every aspect of it, from ideation to what our core values should be, to the design. As you rightly said in your introduction, we are a design first brand, which I feel is very, very important. And we just didn't want to be a brand that looks good and promises nothing. For us, quality is first.
Okay, so why the name Backbay, and who thought of it?
So I will share the story. We were going through a book, and it's an old book of Bombay, and there was the map of Bombay in the
From 1857.
Okay.
And we saw the term Backbay there, and I loved how I obviously Google mapped it immediately, and it's still called Backbay. So I loved how it was so rooted in Bombay's history, and it's still a part of it, and I feel like that's what the city is for us, right? It's our foundation, it's our home. We love the spirit of the city, and that's what the spirit of the brand is. We are ever changing, we are growing, we are fast, and we are here for you. No matter who you are, what you do, we are going to be here for you. And that's what I feel Bombay means to us, and that's what we wanted to give to the world at large.
Also, our dream with Backbay is that we want to create a lifestyle beverage brand. And thus the name Backbay kind of just fit in there. The moment she called me, I was traveling for shoot. She's like, Backbay. I said, Backbay. I said, let's go.
Wow. That's a pretty interesting story. I have to give you that. But let's come back to the brand. You've launched with 2 SKUs.
Yes.
What is the pricing strategy? How have you priced it?
We do realize that India is a price-sensitive market. That's for us, we have strategically placed our price right between plastic and glass.
Yes.
So if you look at the most expensive plastic variant available in the market, be it imported or domestic, and the least expensive glass variant available in the market, we are right there because we also wanted our product to be accessible. Look, we are a premium water brand.
Correct. There are 2 SKUs, like we just mentioned. There's a 500 and 700 ml
Yes,
bottle.
750.
750.
Yeah.
And when can consumers start buying it? How soon are you available?
Actually, we are already available in stores, but like a proper launch is going to happen when your interview would be out.
You know, you've opted for plant-based cartons over traditional packaging. Environmentally conscious, but potentially a costlier choice. How do you plan to balance sustainability and scalability?
So our packaging specifically is called gable top paper packaging. In fact, we've also gone a step further, and our cap is actually a bio cap.
And we are the only company in India currently offering that.
You know, because the story of toxic chemicals leaching into our water, into our beverages is where the germination of Backbay actually happened. And that's why we wanted to go that extra step and make sure that we are giving our consumer authenticity, honesty, and transparency. But coming back to scalability, 100%. Look, the Indian market is already used to paper packaging, right? Just not for water. And we obviously have gone for like the best quality available there because we put our carton through heat tests, through various tests actually, just to make sure that the claims we make are completely supported.
There is intense competition, not just from homegrown players, there are global players as well. How do you plan to really carve out a niche for yourself?
I think a lot of it has to do with us just not being a water brand.
Okay.
You know, at the start of the interview, Samiksha very correctly said that we are a beverage brand and we are trying to build a community of like-minded people. We want to build a community of consumers that have complete trust in us, that whatever comes out of Backbay is going to be better than anything else available in the market. And that's the only way to be. And, you know, especially when you are on the path of sustainability, you know, we aren't a company that greenwashes. And that's why for us, as I even mentioned earlier, quality over anything else.
Okay, so like you mentioned, it's a beverage brand. What more can we expect? You've come out with Backbay Aqua, which is of course the water brand. What else is in the offline? If you can give us a little sneak peek into what you're working towards.
Well, we have I'm just like
let it out. Let it out.
Yeah, we have 2 more product lines in R&D and shelf life testing already.
Okay.
We want to take over the beverage space completely, primarily with the lens of health and well-being. You know, because that is the core of what Backbay is. You know, also kind of a thought. I'm going to go back to your previous question as well, where competition is concerned, right? Most of our competition is offering different kind of packaging. And we saw a problem in that packaging, and that's why Backbay was born.
Also the formulations, right? We want to make sure our formulations are clean. Obviously not in terms of water, but in terms of the lines.
Everything else that we have.
Which we didn't see in the market. There's truly a dearth of clean formulations in the beverage space, and that is where Backbay is going to sort of champion.
We don't want to give nasties. We don't want to give like any of the chemical filled alternatives available.
Sugar.
Tons of it, right?
Everything in the beverage.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Has sugar in it.
And hydration is a part of your daily being on an hourly level. You know, so how do we make that experience better for you? Backbay is a very experience-led brand.
Okay, so you know that brings me to my next question. You said you want to take over the beverage space completely, right? While you're not giving much as to what you're working on, but having said that, you know, you're an actor, you're a lawyer. What about who have you partnered with? I want to understand, because this is a space, like you said, owning your own manufacturing facility, getting worked for 2 years before launching this brand. Who have you partnered with, and how does it come naturally to you guys, or what is the story behind that?
We partnered with each other.
That's all.
And we just started on this journey, and there was tons and tons of education,
of course,
gaining knowledge, understanding operations, the business side of it, numbers.
So who's the number crunching one, and who's the one who's more on the creative side of it?
I would I would say that I think we both do a bit of both.
Yeah.
But primarily, Bhumi is definitely more brand-led in terms of she looks at the longer vision for the brand. She's like, okay, this is where we want to go. This is what Backbay has to be 10 years, 15 years down the line. I'm more of like the day-to-day thing, you know. Okay, now this
Samiksha helps the operation. She's being very conservative about it. She helps the operations through and through. We obviously have a great team working with us. I can't negate that, but that has also been like rather recent. You know, so from closing distributors to our contracts to everything has been us, and it's been a lot of work. I wouldn't lie, but look, we are made of hustle.
Yes.
Right? If you look at our individual journeys, also we don't come from backgrounds that supported anything where we've reached. In my capacity of an actor, her capacity of a lawyer, and this is the next part of our life where we are hustling, and I think it's going to be like so.
Okay, so let's delve deeper into this partnership. You know, what's it like building a brand, you know, with sisters together? You know, how do your strengths complement each other, and how do they challenge each other?
I think we're constantly challenging each other. First, let's begin with
but
that.
let's start with the good stuff too.
Okay, let's start with the good stuff.
That is a very good thing. But I feel the one thing which I found having a sister Bhumi as my co-founder is the trust. You know?
Yes.
Because I feel that often when two people who don't know each other very well come together to form something, there can be a sense of like building that trust, right? We've been building it for over 30 years now. So, you know, that's a great starting point. And from there comes the fact that we respect each other's opinions, the fact that we hear each other out. And that has sort of helped us bring Backbay to where it is. Because, you know, like you correctly said that, oh, how have we done this entire thing? You know, from setting up the factory to getting, you know, our operations sorted, is because we heard each other out. It's because, you know, we established that foundation of working together towards everything.
The beauty of also working together is that you don't ever switch off. Right?
Exactly,
like usually when I come back from work, when we would come back from work, we've switched off. We literally have to kind of today tell each other, okay, we're going to take 5 minutes out. Let's just like take a step back and not discuss Backbay. But we love it. You know, we truly are. I also feel that the similarity between Samiksha and I, apart from the fact that we look similar, as they very rightly says, is that we are extremely driven and we are very hungry. And I think that's why we've been able to do this the way we've been able to do.
And you've invested in it. You don't have an external investor. It's both of you pulled in money.
Self-funded.
Self-funded completely.
My final question before I let you go. Looking ahead, what's the big vision for Backbay? You know, of course, you've just launched. Any revenue targets that you've set for yourself, let's say 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line? Are there any global plans as well?
Absolutely. I think the export market is actually going to be very huge for us, and we're extremely excited because we are Himalayan premium water. My water is full of minerals and electrolytes that are naturally occurring, which we already have expansion plans within other markets which are very, very active as we speak. Where the final goal for Backbay is concerned, like one of our short-term goals is we really, really hope that, you know, in the next 4 years, we do hit the 100 crore number. And I think that's the path that we are on.
And in terms of 10 years, 20 years down the line, we want to be in everyone's home.
Well, on that note, it's time for me to wrap up our conversation. Many thanks, Samiksha and Bhumi Pednekar, for your time on Startup Street. Wish you both the very best of luck for all your aggressive growth plans with Backbay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.